Alexander Pereira scores a major win over Ankalev. A 1-2, pop, right off the bat. He starts the fight right away. I told you guys, I picked Pereira this time around. The first fight, I picked Ankalev. I got a storm of comments, people hating. People were so upset with me. People were like, how could you pick against Pereira? Ankalev is going to get steamrolled. And Ankalev wins. This time around, I was like, wait a second. I'm telling you, Pereira saw that fight. He was so unhappy about how much he backed up in the fight. He's going to go forward in this fight. They're going to clash. Ankalev wasn't able to take him down in the first fight, which kind of surprised me. I thought he would be able to get him down here and there. Poatan comes out. Pop, 1-2. Right off the bat. Throws a violent 2 punches. Backs Ankalev off. Ankalev is orbiting around it. He's just circling. He's trying to break. He's trying to break alignment with Pereira. Pereira won't have it. Pereira presses him after a couple of leg kicks and then just catches him with a big overhand right. This time it wasn't the big left hook. Usually we see Pereira with the doom. Hits people with the doom. The left hook. Boom. That left hook is doom for any man. But not this time. This time it was overhand right. Pow! Drops him down. Gets on top of him. Some hammer fists. Some 12 to 6 elbows, which is legal now. He was doing them to the ribs, then to the head. And the referee stops it. Thankfully so, because Ankalev was not going to be able to defend himself. That was a very good stoppage. Nobody was debating the stoppage. The stoppage was right on the money. Now, I will tell you something. I don't know if there's going to be a rematch. I doubt it. Okay, it was so one-sided this time. I know the first fight, it went Ankalev's way. It's going to be 1-1. I don't think it's going to be a rematch. I don't know why. I just don't think people are super excited for a rematch. Who is going to be the rematch? Well, it can't be Jiri. Jiri's already lost. He's lost twice to Pereira. He can't be Jiri. And Jiri had a phenomenal... I'm going to talk about Jiri versus Roundtree. It was such an incredible fight as well. But it can't be Jiri. Who could it be? I'm thinking Chimaev. Chimaev is for sure already calling out Pereira. He wants to jump up. And let me tell you something. If that fight happens, which I have a feeling it's not going to happen, I think there's going to be a lot of push for Pereira Chimaev. There's going to be a huge push for Pereira Chimaev, but of course the UFC wants to keep Pereira as champion. He's a big seller. He's a crowd pleaser. But also the rich Arabs in Qatar, Saudi Arabia, they're going to be like, "Hey man, let's do a super fight here in the Middle East between Chimaev and Pereira." And of course that's something they're going to be pushing for. They're going to be really wanting that really badly. Now, I would tell you right now, if Pereira fights Chimaev, in my opinion, Chimaev wins quite in a quite dominant fashion and with a finish. I think it would be a dominant win for Chimaev. That's just my opinion here, telling you guys straight up. Still, the fight with Ankalev and Pereira was very exciting. Even though it was super short, it's just Pereira fought like he wasn't going to take a single step back. Okay, like he was super aggressive, super determined. And we saw him what he does best. Do what he does best. What does he do best? He's a finisher. He's a knockout puncher. Guys, don't forget to use promo code FALL50 off for anything, 50% off on jujiclub.com. Jujiclub.com, guys. Don't forget, we have striking videos, jiu-jitsu videos, wrestling videos. Check it out. It's the best content for the best price. You won't find a better price anywhere else. Okay, so what was another great fight? Well, we saw Jiri and Roundtree. Okay, I want to touch up on Jiri and Roundtree before I go to the comments and questions. Jiri and Roundtree, I just rewatched it. It was incredible. It was an incredible fight. Roundtree had control of the entire fight for 11 minutes. 11 minutes. Okay, so look, there was about 2 minutes left when the fight was finished. Okay, so take 2 minutes off the clock. You have a 13-minute fight. For 11 of those minutes, Khalil Roundtree was in charge. He won the first 2 rounds. He was very dominant. He was very slick. You could even hear Khalil's strikes land. He was hitting so hard. He was hitting so often and so hard. When he would hit Jiri, you would hear the sounds. Crack, 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 crack. Body kick, punches, everything. He was just connecting, and Jiri just couldn't find his shots. Now, Jiri with his hands down. We all know he has his hands down, and usually he's zigzagging, and this time he was getting caught. He was getting caught. Body kick, leg kick. A lot of punches, too. A lot of check hooks. What happens? Round 3 comes about. Okay, Khalil's winning round 1. Round 2 is even better for Khalil. Round 3 comes about. And for the first minute, Khalil's looking great. Pop, pop. He's cracking shots. He's hitting hard. It seems like we're going to have another 5 minutes of Roundtree dominating. No. What happens with Jiri? Jiri, guys, don't forget, is one of the best finishers ever. The guy, I can't remember last time. I know he had a hard fight, in his title fight, but he still got the finish, even though it was the last minute. He's a finisher. And let me tell you something. Jiri didn't disappoint, man. He didn't disappoint. In 2 minutes, he did more damage than what Khalil did in 11 minutes. Khalil had incredible control and was very dominant for 11 minutes. He was doing great. And then in just 2 minutes, it happened so fast. Jiri, I gotta say, can do so much damage in such little time. It's a very special style that he has. He's a great finisher, and he can do it really on the turn of a dime. It was quite impressive. Okay, guys, with that said, I'm going to talk about the other fights as well, but let's do comments and questions now because I've rambled on for a little bit here. Coach, do you still think Khamzat could beat Alex at 205? Absolutely. Ahmatan, yes, absolutely. Okay, guys, I'm taking questions on the fight. You guys are getting crazy on all sorts of stuff here. Let's talk about Jiri versus Roundtree. Let's talk about Pereira versus Ankalaev. Those were two crazy, exciting fights. There were more fights on the card we could discuss as well, but I want to discuss those two fights now. Let's not get crazy with other topics. He's also a black belt. Do you think it's legitimate? That's from Saga. I don't know. I've never rolled with a guy. I haven't seen him in the practice room, but it would surprise me if he's legitimately like a black belt. It would surprise me because he comes from a kickboxing background and, he hasn't been doing MMA that long. Okay, now I know he did MMA before his kickboxing background, but that was a very low level, and you see his fight, like, he was still very early in his career. Okay, now the guy's a great talent. He worked really hard, and he's a phenomenal kickboxer, and he converted to MMA, and he's doing fantastic, obviously. But still doesn't make him a legit black belt. No, I'm saying that without seeing him. I just don't think it could happen that fast usually, especially when he had a lot of striking fights, right? The UFC gave him a lot of stylistically good fights for him, except for one where he was fighting like a really good grappler wrestler where, he got taken down in the first round, but the other guy was also limited in the striking, right? So it was more striker versus grappler, and Poatan got through that fight. Well, in an incredible fashion. Second round, he did a scissor knee and knocked the guy out. Is that hoodie from your college days? JB19. Yeah, this is my Vanier. I graduated from Vanier as well. I graduated from Vanier College and from Concordia. So, no, this shirt, I had to go back to Vanier I had to go see a physio once, and I was in Vanier College. I was at Vanier College, and I was like, I got to get a sweater from the old school. Salam, coach. Do you think Alex has a chance at heavyweight? That's from Ahmed Jassim. Not against a top tier talent. If you're talking about like an Aspinall, I don't think so. I think Aspinall would play it smart on the feet and take him down. It would be way too much. The heavyweights are just too big, in my opinion, and it's very risky. I think he would have a very hard time. Okay, guys, I'm not talking about anything else other than the fights, guys. Let's focus on the fights here for a few minutes. I promise we won't go too long, and then I'll let you guys, get crazy. Thoughts on Merab's fight, guys? Okay, let's do Merab's fight. I can't believe I went to the Jiri Khalil Roundtree fight before doing Merab's fight. What was I thinking? What's wrong with me? My apologies, guys. The co-main event was Merab versus Sanhagen. What an incredible fight. Sanhagen had a very good first round. Sanhagen was cooking in round one, but then Merab just took over. Round two, you almost got to finish it. You heard? Sanhagen. And then round three, round four, round five, I gave all the other rounds to Merab, even though they were more competitive than in round two, because round two was one-sided. Round two was, Merab's probably biggest chance at finishing. And Sanhagen came back strong, and he came back, he threw those flying knees. He did a lot of nice attacks. They just weren't connecting the way he wanted to. He landed a good back kick on Merab. Everybody's questioning his gut. Does he have the gut? If somebody hits him to the body, how's he going to react? He had a full back kick by Sanhagen, and he survived it well. And it was just more Merab just pressing the fight. It was just so much action on Merab's side, picking him up, taking him down, letting him up, getting back. Well, Sanhagen did a good job getting back to his feet, defending. It's just the pace. The pace of Merab was just, it's inhuman. I don't know how to explain it. I've been in this game a long time. I can't explain it. I think Corey fought incredibly well. It's just that Merab was just, I don't know, man. He's just head and shoulders above the division right now. And we have to figure him out. The world has to figure him out because he's a very, very dominant champion. No doubt in my mind, he's the greatest bantamweight ever. That's no doubt in my mind. And I would tell you, Sanhagen had a very good first round. It was close. If I was going to give him a round, it would be round 1. Okay, and I know you can argue it both ways. I'm not here to do. I'm not interested in doing that. But Merab picked it up. He picked it up and pushed the pace like he always does. And I got to tell you guys something. I found it mind-blowing. It was incredible. After beating Ankalev, Pereira does move up to fight Aspinall at White House card. Likely lose but make tens of millions and then retire a legend or chase Shamaev and prove he's still hungry. That's from Yahya. Is that an official... Let me see. I heard the White House card came out. The White House UFC card. Let's see if it's out. Let's see. I'm going to take a real quick here. White House Trump main event. Event will be June 14th. What is the White House White House card? Is it official? Let's see here. Is it official? That came out. No. This is not it. No. It doesn't seem to be official. Well, the date is official, but not the fight. I'm referring to the fight. Okay, I don't see anything about that fight. But look, if you're telling me they're gonna offer him that fight, I assume he would take it against Aspinall because it's the White House card, and you're right, he's gonna make a ton of money. But Aspinall could ruin his career. You got to think about the man's health. Aspinall is going to be very dangerous. So maybe he gets taken on and gets subbed, walks away with 10, 15, 20 million. I don't know what it is because it's a White House card and it's a historic moment. Maybe Poatan's ready to put his legacy on the line like that, but it's going to be a bad fight for him if he fights Aspinall. Pereira probably beats Curtis Blades. That's from Spectonimus. I'm not sure about that. I'm not sure. It will be a tough fight. Maybe. It's possible, but I don't think so. Umar is the only one who has the ability to beat him. That's from Learn MMA. Well, Umar did really well. I thought Umar had the first 2 rounds, and the third one was quite close. Even though I gave it to Merab, it was close. It was very competitive. It was absolutely very competitive. Coach, thoughts on Yusuf Zalah's fight? He had a good thing to say about you in an interview with Ariel Helwani. That's from Mahab. Mahab, I gotta tell you, I thought he fought incredibly. Okay, so Yusuf's fight was incredible. I want to touch up on that. Look, he fought Josh Emmett. Josh Emmett is one of the heaviest hitters, one of the most scariest guys. You've seen the knockouts he's produced. He's put guys out cold. And Zalal handled him beautifully. Masterful takedown, got on top of him. Really great ground game, really great top pressure. But Emmett's a good athlete. He kind of scrambled to his knees, and Zalal kind of transitioned to armbar, was kind of slipping off, and then transitioned to armbar. I'm not sure if he was slipping off or if he did it on purpose because he wanted to get that arm. But he went into a full armbar, beautiful armbar, and I didn't see the tap. I don't think a lot of people saw the tap because it was a verbal tap, and you can't really hear it in the octagon, right? There's no mics in the octagon. But I think it was a verbal tap because both his arms were connected. So a lot of people didn't know what happened because I don't think the ref didn't even separate them. So Emmett verbally taps, or maybe there was a physical tap that Zalal felt. Maybe there's like a little, he was trying to protect his arm. So maybe sometimes you give like this little tap, but he was also verbally tapping for sure. On the replay, you could see it and then you can hear it. And Zalal let him go. And I don't think anybody in the audience realized that the guy tapped, because sometimes you get a visual tap. Sometimes the referee is like really close. He sees the armbar and he sees the tap and he hears the audible tap and he'll separate it. But Zalal let him go. And then it was kind of like, what happened? No, but he hit an armbar. Emmett stepped over. It wasn't as visually evident as usual, but it was a beautiful Beautifully applied submission. Fantastic work by Yusuf Zalal.